Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Random Vlogging! Okay, so, I tried recording this once, and it turned into like a 22 or 23-minute video, and I don't want this to be that long. But I'm going to rant, and there may be a few people that I step on their toes with this. Um, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to apologize for it. Mostly because the reason I'm making this rant is that I'm very very upset right now, and I need to talk about it because it's a much more constructive way than just lashing out against these people that all they were trying to do is help me. Literally, that's all they were. Excuse me. That's literally all they were trying to do is help me, and I understand that, and I appreciate it. However, they were doing it the wrong way, and all it ended up doing is making it worse. So today I'm gonna talk about, I guess, the right and wrong way to help someone when they're dealing with some sort of mental disability. Um, for those of you that are all right, so this is what I'm going through right now, as you can see. So you guys probably won't see me talking with my hands too much because I can't get them to stop shaking. Um, so I made a post. I made a post earlier where I said I'm so stressed out that I can't stop shaking, and that's what I was talking about, that tremor I had. Um, and a lot of people commented on it. And I made the post not because I was looking for attention or anything like that, but it's for me it's therapeutic. If I talk about it and I release it into the public aether, even if nobody says anything about it, it's therapeutic for me because it's basically like I'm talking out my problems. So that's why I did it. I actually wasn't looking for any help or anything like that. It's just that's one of the ways I've learned to constructively deal with my problems. Um, and I generally won't do a ton of them, but if my depression gets really, really bad, or I get a really, really bad panic attack, or like what's happening now, I'll do something like that, and it helps. And I got a lot of people that were commenting and trying to help. And again, I appreciate that they were trying to help. Um, but it gets borderline insulting when uh, somebody suggests a quick fix for a very difficult problem. Something to the effect of, there are people like, well, maybe you should try breathing, or things like that. I've had people recommend that I start doing meditation or Tai Chi or yoga and stuff like that. And I just want to kind of clarify a few things. First of all, when I mentioned that I'm stressed, it's not, oh, I'm really, really worried about something and I'm just kind of freaking out about it. Um, I have my official diagnosis is anxiety, or depression with anxiety. This is a medical condition. This is not me just kind of fixating on the wrong things and freaking out. Um, the depression is a chemical imbalance in my brain. It's not that I focus on the wrong things, or I don't see, I always look the glass as half full. My brain makes it very difficult for me to motivate myself to do things. And it doesn't transmit uh, it doesn't receive and send neurotransmitters correctly, and therefore the rest of my body interprets it as kind of this overall feeling of hopelessness, and nothing that I do matters, and it's not an enjoyable experience. And the anxiety, um, my body every so often will overreact to perceived threats. You have this nifty thing in your body called a fight or flight response. It saves people's lives on a regular basis. It is built into your body specifically because there are certain situations where if you just rely on your everyday skills, you will die. So the fight or flight response is designed basically to give you an extra boost of either strength or endurance, so that either you can defend yourself better by increasing your strength and letting you do more to fight than you normally would, or to increase your endurance so that you can run the hell away. Um, And it does that through a lot of different things. But one of the things that it does, it floods your systems with a couple different hormones and things like that. One of which is adrenaline, because adrenaline forces your heart to beat faster, and then it also which supplies oxygen to your muscles much more quickly, and that lets you do things faster because your muscles get more nutrients faster, and so they can recover quicker, and it's a good thing. However, my body will decide that there are certain instances where it thinks that I need a boost in adrenaline when I don't. Quite literally, I don't. And that's what's called a panic attack. And again, a panic attack is not me freaking out over, am I going to pass this test? It's my body has initiated fight or flight mode, basically without my consent and without an actual rationale. My body, oops, sorry, and then I have to deal with it, because once the adrenaline is in your bloodstream, it's there until your body, deals with it. Um, and and it's not enjoyable. And if you don't know what's going on, it can be very, very scary, because you feel like you're in a life or death situation, and it can last for anywhere from like 10-15 minutes. For me, I've had panic attacks that have lasted, like the initial onset will last for about half an hour, and then uh, I will feel kind of the residuals of it for a full day, where my heartbeat is elevated for an entire day, and I'm panicky for an entire day, and it's not enjoyable, and it's very, very, very uncomfortable. And so these people that are making suggests like, well, you just need to breathe, or you need to do this or that, it's not helping. If breathing was all it took to fix a panic attack, I would never have another one. I've studied 4 different martial arts extensively. I've done little dabbles in probably about a dozen more. I know probably about half a dozen different meditation techniques and breathing techniques and relaxation techniques. I've taught them to people. I know how this stuff works. However, if you get into a situation where somebody points a gun at your head and you decide that you want to calm yourself down, breathing's not going to work. Your body has already taken over, it's turned on fight or flight, and you're in a panic state until you get out of that situation. And if your body doesn't think that you're out of the situation, it doesn't turn off. So again, I understand that you guys are trying to help, and I appreciate it. I really do. I don't want you to feel like, I'm just slapping you in the face or anything like that, but it's not the way to do it. And then I had another situation where they mentioned, it's like, well, yeah, you need to relax. You need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And it started really upsetting me. And so I just mentioned, I said, this isn't me freaking out. This is a medical condition. All right. I don't have any control over this. And when you combine diagnosed an anxiety disorder with clinical depression and a history of suicidal thoughts, it's a bad place to be, and it can be very dangerous for me. And again, I'm not angry at this person, because they were very much trying to help, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to embarrass them or anything like that. But their response was basically accusing me of doing the wrong thing. And this is something I hear a lot when people talk about suicide, because it's a scary thing. It's a terrifying thing, especially if you're not the person that's contemplating suicide. Because to talk to someone else that's decided that the best way to fix their problems is to end their life is terrifying, because a lot of times they're very logical about it. And that's the thing that's crazy, because that's the wrong answer, but if you just listen to their rationale, it sounds right. And that's freaky. It's really, really weird. And once you actually look into their thought processes, a lot of times you can find how it's the wrong decision, because it is. I'm never saying that suicide is the right decision, but telling someone it's like suicide is never the right decision when they're dealing with it is a bad idea. End of story. It's not a good idea, because all it is you're telling them that yet again they have failed. They've done something stupid where they've come to the wrong decision. They've come to the wrong answer. And it doesn't help. All it does is it makes them feel worse about themselves, because yet again they're wrong. And they keep being wrong over and over and over again. They finally figured out something that they thought might be right, and it's wrong. It's wrong again, and it doesn't help. So yeah, again, I'm not mad with the people that did this, because all they were doing was trying to help. But I want to get this out there. If someone is dealing with an anxiety disorder or clinical depression, First of all, don't tell them and it's all in their head. Don't tell them that all they need to do is relax or breathe deep or something like that, because it's insulting is what it is. It really is. And makes them feel worse about themselves. Because if the answer was that simple, don't you think? I mean, I've been dealing with this since I was 19 years old. Don't you think in, I have to do math now, in 7 years, don't you think in 7 years I would have figured out how to breathe? Especially someone that studies martial arts for over 15, where meditation is actually an integral part of my martial arts training. Don't you think I would have probably discovered the idea of meditation and relaxation and deep breathing techniques and would have solved my own problem? It doesn't work, folks. Can it help? Yes, it can. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for that to help. However, in the middle of a panic attack, telling me to breathe, 9 times out of 10, I've already done that. And it hasn't helped. And that's why it's gotten to the point where I feel the need to talk about it. So I would like to talk about what the right thing to do is. And this time I'm actually going to single some people out, because to be perfectly honest, they have been amazing, wonderful people. And they sincerely helped me get through this. So if you're upset that I mention your name, in the video or something like that, I apologize about this. But I really, really appreciate how wonderful you guys have been, and I want to acknowledge that. So the first one is my very good friend, one of the most amazing people I've had the ability to work with over the past few months. His name's Daniel Wallace. He runs the Plot Hook Inn over on the All for Geek Alliance, and he has been a wonderfully supportive person. So I made this post about how I'm so stressed that I can't stop shaking. And his response was very simple. It was, "What's going on?" I explained a little bit, didn't go into too much detail because I don't really feel like I need to. And his response, again, was very, very simple. "Anything I can do?" And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something to the effect of, "Well, no, but thank you. I really appreciate it." That is a fantastic way to deal with someone that's going through something like this. You cannot give good advice if you don't understand what the situation is. It's physically impossible. So if you hear that someone is going through an anxiety attack and you immediately start giving them information, congratulations, you've done the wrong thing. Because all you're going to do is upset them. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're just giving random advice, because there's a ton of advice you can give to someone going through a panic attack. There's literally books and books and books and books and books. And if you randomly choose something, there's a much better chance that, not knowing the situation, you're going to give the wrong advice as opposed to the right advice. And all it's going to do is upset them. So what he did is he tried to figure out more. And I gave him all I was willing to talk about. And he didn't have a good piece of advice for that specific situation. So all he did was exactly what he should have done. Was, anything I can do to help? In this specific instance, no, there wasn't. And there are some times that there are. It might be, hey, would you mind giving me a call? I need someone to talk to. I need another human being to listen to what is going on to me. So you need to just give me a call. Sometimes that's what it is. Or sometimes it'll be, hey, if there's someone that lives within a geographic distance, hey, can you come over and can you sit with me? Because I don't trust myself to be alone. Those are good things. But always saying, hey, what's going on? Trying to figure out the situation as much as they're willing to tell. And then going, what can I do to help? Is the right answer. Because it puts the power back in the hands of the person that's having the difficulty. And you're not just giving them what you think should work when you don't really understand what's going on. And again, I'm not upset. I'm not trying to yell at you people. I'm really, really not. It's just, this was very, very upsetting to me, and I want to get this out. The other thing, and I may mispronounce your name, and I apologize about that. And again, if you guys are upset that I'm mentioning you on the stream, I'm actually really sorry about that. But Mike, I want to say Kubit, something like that. Met him through Jens. He's a really cool guy. He said, "Dude, that sucks. I'm very sorry to hear it. Hang tough and hang in there. Take care of yourself and preserve your health." Very, very simple. He empathized. Hey, that sucks. That's a good thing to do, because you're acknowledging that what they're going through is not fun. And as crazy as that sounds, a lot of times just acknowledging that what they're going through is real means the world. I have dealt with most of my life, due to things that I'm not going to get into, with crippling self-doubt and never believing that anything I'm going through is worth complaining about, or worth really getting upset about. I always felt that any pain I felt, any suffering that I felt, there were people out there that had it much, much worse. And so I had no right to feel bad about it. And that caused massive issues. So someone simply going, hey, that really sucks, means the world to me, because it's an affirmation that what I'm going through is real, and that I have a right to be upset about it, and I have a right to feel bad, because for the longest time I didn't think I was allowed to feel bad about the things that happened to me. It didn't matter how bad they got. Somebody in the world had something worse, and I had no right to feel bad or take time off to fix myself, because other people had done much more amazing things than I had, dealing with horrible, horrible situations. So that's wonderful. And then, hang tough, hang in there, are just words of encouragement, saying, hey, hang tough, get in there, take care of yourself, preserve your health. Again, you're giving the person that's going through it the power again. You're saying, whatever you feel you need to do to get through this, you go ahead and do it. And it sounds crazy, but at least for someone like me, and I'm sure there are other people like this, the idea of my decisions about how to fix myself, I've felt for so long that I'm always wrong, and I always don't know what I'm doing, and I always just break things, and I'm always taking the wrong, and I have no right to try and fix myself when there's so many other things that I should be fixing. Just having someone sit there and go, hey, you know what? You do what you think is right is amazing, and it helps so much. So I understand this is getting long, and I'm going to try and cut it off real quick. I just want to mention, kind of as a summary of everything, if someone is dealing with depression or anxiety, where it's a medical condition, don't tell them it's not a medical condition. Don't tell them, if they're dealing with suicidal thoughts, don't tell them that suicide is never the answer, because all that's going to do is make it feel worse. What you do want to do is you want to show them support, show them that you care for them, and ask them what you can do to help them. Put yourself out there if you can. Put yourself out there and say, hey, listen, I care about you. I think you're a good person, and I want your life to be better. What can I do? What do you want me to do to help you right now? That does so much. It really, really does. All right. One of the hashtags I keep trying to stick out there is this thing, hashtag Internet Hugs for Strength. Because sometimes that's all I can do. Most of my friends live so far away that it would take me hours, if not days, to get anywhere near them. But I can just show my support. So something as simple as Internet Hugs for Strength, or saying, hey, man, I'm praying for you, or hey, you're in my thoughts. Those mean the world, because it shows that people are out there. And I know it's just a couple of words, but it's those words and the actions behind them that really make a difference. They really do. All right, so again, that's all for me today. I hope tomorrow I'm going to have something a little bit nicer, a little bit shorter too. Again, thank you for everyone that tried to help. I really do appreciate it. But if you really want to help, the best thing that you can do, ask what's going on, ask if there's anything you can do to help, and then send words of encouragement, or pray. I've mentioned I'm a Christian. Prayer does amazing things. It really does, whether you believe in it or not. So if you have the ability to pray, it's very much appreciated. It really, really is. All right, again, that's all for me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another random vlogging. All right, bye-bye.